And last but not least, Ms. Xian, 3 words to describe yourself.
Uncorruptible by corporations.
And KATHRYN XIAN is a filmmaker and executive director of the Pacific Alliance to Stop Slavery. Since 2005, Ms. XIAN has helped pass 8 laws related to human trafficking. She's also the chairwoman and founder of the Emalani Community Organic Garden at her church, which provides access to free organic vegetables. Ms. XIAN, you're the only non-elected candidate who is not holding political office. What makes you qualified for this position, and are you a one-issue candidate?
You know, it's really interesting whenever I get that question about being a one-issue candidate. There is no such thing as a single-issue struggle, because we don't lead single-issue lives. Audre Lorde said that, and I believe it to be true. I've dedicated my life to protecting the rights of women and children from abuse, ending human trafficking, and raising our minimum wage to a livable wage, which we don't have yet. Rather than asking why I have dedicated my life to these areas, we should be asking why certain communities, certain members of our community have been treated differently than others, right? And I think that people need to invest in the political process, but the only way they're going to do that is if they have somebody truly representative of their wishes and dreams for their families and for this country.
This question is from Waikiki, a resident there. His name is RN, Ms. Xian. The question is for you. The state has a problem, as you know, with sex trafficking. How specifically could you address this at the federal level?
I have already been working on with other advocates in DC on federal legislation, including the JVTA, and this issue is so pervasive on both the federal and local level that it takes a bipartisan effort and also an effort that includes community organizers as well as lawmakers on the highest levels. What I would do would be to push reform of the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, which comes up for reauthorization every 4 years, plus support laws that are currently being looked at right now to focus on the true problem, which is the demand for prostitution and sex trafficking, as well as the traffickers that sell these women and children. And more needs to be done in that area because there is a problem with corruption on all levels that allows for the proliferation of the selling of human beings, not just for sex, but also for labor. Hawaii has very significant problems with labor trafficking as well as sex trafficking.
Xian, if you were elected, is it just spinning the wheels for the Democrats in the majority against the majority party?
I think this is a really good question, and I think it begs for us to examine exactly how Congress works. And I think it really calls to congresspersons to transform their positions into something that is reflective of real change, which is get back onto the ground level, work interstate with other congressional members, focus on an agenda that will work, such as the amending the Voters' Rights Act, focus on the purple states to get Republicans unseated. The Tea Party did it, we can do it as well. And if we don't start working proactively on the ground level in each of our states and join hands in doing so as well, then we're not going to move anything.
Ms. Xian, people love Obamacare, they hate Obamacare, they're somewhere in between. Do you think what do you make of Obamacare, and should Hawaii be exempt from it?
No, Hawaii should not be exempt from Obamacare. I think we're all on the same page about that. Is Obamacare perfect? No, but no large-scale healthcare plan is, which allows us room for improvement. There needs to be certain tweaks to it to allow its efficiency, and it was just passed into law. So the growing pains need to be completely vetted out, but the system works, and it's been proven.
You know, Kelly from Honolulu has a question that just came in terms of a GMO labeling. And you ask a lot of local politicians here, and they believe that we could leave that to the federal level. So, Ms. Xian, what do you think about the labeling of GMOs, and would you work to ban GMOs?
I would. I'm opposed to the effort of corporations to privatize the food system. Whether GMO development is healthy or unhealthy remains to be seen, but the people have the right to know what foods are genetically modified. Relying on the federal government right now would be unwise if we seek to label GMOs. because they're ineffective. So that's why I would support home rule in allowing counties on the local level to pass their own GMOs. We need to do more on the local level. Federal money needs to be spent in this area to allow for offices to be able to certify small businesses that go into organic farming. I would take it even a step further to regulate the disclosure of pesticides used for GMO development as well as general agriculture, because there is a significant problem. I've seen this personally in my work working with labor traffic victims who work on farms. They suffer from very serious maladies, from brain tumors.
Let's give a chance for Councilman Anderson to weigh in on banning GMOs. And last but not least, Ms. Xian, 3 words to describe yourself.
Uncorruptible by corporations.